Mikel Arteta. He is facing the media right now, and I tell you what, there he is, looking relaxed, smiling, sharing a joke with the journalists who are there and having a little sip of water. He is facing the media ahead of Bolton in the Carabao Cup. Let's hear what he has to say.
First of all, have you recovered from Sunday?
Yes, fully recovered, yeah.
Did it take a while?
Well, it took like a normal game. Obviously, it was a very emotional game at the end, but they all are in different ways probably that the game we played on Sunday. But yeah, looking forward to tomorrow.
You say they all are. Some don't hit quite the emotional highs of that. When you strip that emotion back, how do you assess that game? Because it's very hard with everything that went on.
Yeah, well, I already did after the game, you know, and we already moved on, and we are now ready to battle again on tomorrow.
You've ready to move on. I think lots of us have still sort of soaked up what went on, and we've seen extra footage of Haaland and you at the end. We've seen Haaland and Jesus at the end. Does that tell you kind of how much that game meant to not just Arsenal and City, but to everybody, that rivalry is fascinating, that you maybe got under their skins, that we all loved the head-to-heads and the niggle and the battle?
I don't know, it's part of football, part of a sport, and after the game, all that goes away and we move on. That's it.
Just maybe two more on it before I do move on. Were you surprised by the reaction that people gave Arsenal in the way you played that game? Because one of the biggest criticisms you've had against you is that you haven't been streetwise, and there you were putting on a masterclass in doing everything to win a game. There was no soft centre. You were right at it, and you did whatever it would take to get that point.
Yeah, we had to play the game that we had to play, and the first 10-15 minutes we couldn't, 11 against 11, then we go much better, and then obviously we're thrown in a very different context. Every team does, you know. They played 30 seconds with 10 men. You look what they did, it's normal what they did for 30 seconds, but we had to do it in a different way. We learned from the past as well, because unfortunately we've been in that situation with them 3 times very recently. One, it was with Granit after 38 minutes, it was. And we consider how many?
You lost 5-0.
So, yeah, we better learn. If not, we will be very thick. I will be very thick.
The red card as well, have you reflected on that and what you said about it afterwards? And perhaps, does the threshold for a second yellow maybe need to be higher?
Well, I reflected post-match, and it's the same reflection today.
So that's still very cross about it and want consistency?
It's the same answer that I give. I think it's move on. I was very clear about it, I think.
Okay. 3 huge games in a week, physically and mentally. When you sit here now, how proud are you of what you've gone and done and some of the circumstances thrown at you?
Extremely proud. I think the team, the desire that they have to compete in any context, to win, to adapt to different circumstances, different competition, different way of playing, and handle that emotionally and physically the way we've done, is superb. Happy, not because we wanted to win the 3 games, but understanding how tough that context is and how difficult it is, and the things that we had to deal with, and not only that, but our own issues as well with the amount of players that we had out. I think it's a significant improvement, and we have to be proud of that, but not happy because we want to win.
Just finally, what is the body count like? I mean, we clearly saw quite a few of your players go down. How many of those sort of are struggling a little bit with injuries? What does your squad look like? Does it give you a chance to see the likes of Sterling, some of your youngsters tomorrow?
I always prefer the facts than words or supposing things. So let's see who is available tomorrow, and then we can talk about dark cards or these things.
Is there anyone not available tomorrow?
Yeah, it won't be.
There will be?
Unfortunately, yes.
Pardon?
Unfortunately, yes, there will be a few players I'm not available. Yeah.
Are you going to Calafiori, Timber? Can you just tell us?
Tomorrow you will find it as soon as I give lineup.
Okay. No serious injuries picked up on Sunday?
We have to wait one of them. Yeah. Thank you.
Hi, Mikel. How are you?
Very good, you?
Yeah, very good. In terms of your players, two of the last 3 games, you had players sent off in the Premier League, kicking the ball away. You had to remind your players that that's a rule.
For passing the ball, you mean?
Passing the ball away, kicking the ball away.
Yeah.
Have you had to remind them not to do it in future?
I think so. Just leave the ball, don't touch the ball. We play without the ball.
Having said that though, the League Cup, when you were at Man City, they always took the League Cup seriously. Pep always wanted to win it because it led to something bigger, or it seemed to be the same thing. Is that the mentality you're bringing to Arsenal?
Yes, for sure. We want to win the game tomorrow. We have to start with the first game, you know, and we have to understand what's the best team, the strongest team that we can put out there to perform the way that we need to be better than Bolton and beat them.
You mentioned the strongest team you can, because quite often we see Premier League managers make 10 or 11 changes to either give players a rest or give other players a game. Would you do that? Would you make 10 or 11 changes?
No, at the moment we cannot, because we don't have another 10 players available.
You've got a big squad. You could probably find 10 players.
Mm-hmm.
How many youngsters are we going to see there tomorrow? Because this is always a good opportunity to see younger players. I remember in the past we've seen the likes of Alex Iwobi, Emil Smith-Rowe, people like that make their debuts in these sort of competitions.
It's a great opportunity for any player to show what they are doing in the games. I didn't have the ability to play matches yet to transform what they're doing in training, to give us the right reason and perform on the pitch.
2 players who we may not see tomorrow, Gabriel and William Saliba. I remember speaking to you about 3 years ago when Saliba was away, and we were saying how much you were saying how much you wanted to keep him, how much of a good player he would be for Arsenal. Can you believe what those two have developed into as a partnership? Because they're probably among the top centre-half partnerships now in English football.
No, the reality is no, because you have to see that developing day by day, and obviously we believe that that they could become really good. That togetherness, that chemistry is something unique. It's something that they build, and there is something that happened very organically as well. And very proud to have them. The level they are showing is incredible.
And finally, Raheem Sterling, you've already been asked about him. I'm not going to ask you whether he's going to start or not tomorrow, but this would be a good opportunity to get more minutes for Arsenal. What has he been like since he's arrived here? Have you been impressed with him even more than when you saw him before us?
Yes, very good. Obviously, he had a few minutes already, so he's played in a few games already, and tomorrow he has another opportunity. He's ready. He's really hungry to start to have more minutes and start to impact the team in the way that he can, and hopefully tomorrow we can see that.